correct. Well, I am delighted to let you know that we are expanding the team at the Rebel. We are having a new staffer join us, a reporter, troublemaker, and all-around conservative. His name is Keean Bexte, and he joins us now in studio. Keean, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Well, welcome to the company is what I should say.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's great to be here.
You know, you're a very mild-mannered fella, very shy, but you're not really shy at all. You're a bit of a troublemaker, aren't you?
I get into some trouble. I dabble, I would say.
You're a trouble dabbler.
Yeah. Yep.
You dabble in trouble.
Absolutely.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. You live in Vulcan, Alberta, which is a farming community outside the city. You just graduated from the University of Calgary. What was your degree in again?
I was a Bachelor of Science in Energy Sciences and Energy Economics.
It sounds like ethical oil is what you're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
But surprisingly, the university did not offer a single class on petroleum extraction or anything like that. It was all wind farms, solar panels, and dams. No,
Come
not
on.
a word of a lie.
The University of Calgary itself did not talk about oil and gas. It talked about wind and solar?
On the science side of things. And on the econ side of things, there was a few courses on petroleum economics, which were excellent courses. The prof teaching that one was amazing. The econ department is actually quite great at the U of C, but you know the science side of it, not a word of oil was mentioned.
That is embarrassing to a university headquartered in Calgary. I'm embarrassed. I'm an alumnus. I haven't been involved in an alumnus, but I'm deeply embarrassed. All right, let's put aside that embarrassment. I can imagine that I can only imagine. I went to U of C myself way back in the 20th century. Is U of C conservative at all, or is it more politically correct than ever?
You know, I'd say compared to the rest of the country, we at least we're fighting back. The campus conservative movement there is one of the largest in the countries, but you know there is as is typical in universities, there's an overwhelming voice of social justice warriors on campus that are louder than everyone else, regardless of their size, because they're given a microphone by the faculty and by the university. It's hard to be a conservative on campus these days.
What's the state of free speech at U of C?
I don't know any instances of there being any attacks on it. Far better at the U of C than anywhere else in the country.
Well, that's good to hear. Now, that's a little bit of background. I think folks would be curious about that. I saw you most recently in Halifax at the Conservative Conference. Of course, we at the Rebel were not permitted in the inner sanctum. We wouldn't want to muck it up. Only approved journalists like the CBC and the Globe and Mail were allowed in there. You had an interesting journalistic moment. I don't think you probably planned to, but you managed to get your hands on a copy of a secret briefing book by the Dairy Lobby, which was the key lobby group that was really controlling that convention. Tell us a bit about that.
So it was almost too good to be true when we opened the binder and looked and saw the blue logo of the Dairy Farmers of Canada. We thought it was a joke at the start because it was just such a coincidence that the folks who found it were no friends of the cartel. But when we found the binder, we just kind of laughed, chuckled a little bit, and then we went to dinner later, and you can see in the picture that's been circulated widely, there's the appetizer menu of what we were ordering at the time, and then we went through it and we saw that we sort of service scanned it and then had dinner, and then we went back and looked at it, and we found that line that said that Andrew Scheer had been in fact manipulated by the cartel to predetermine the outcome of the convention. It made the entire convention a complete waste of money. I don't understand how the CPC is going to be able to ask donors for money when so much donor money was spent on putting that convention on and flying people from Victoria to Halifax. When at the end of the day, the only reason we went there was to watch a fireside chat with Andrew Scheer. No substantial votes. No votes were substantial at all.
Well, you keep talking like that, they'll ban you from the next convention too.
Gosh.
Well, you'll be based in Calgary, and Sheila Gunn-Reid, our Alberta Bureau Chief, is in the north. You'll cover the south, and you're going to move around a bit. So if there's things that need doing in other parts, whether it's Saskatchewan and BC, you'll go on out there. Now, you won't just be doing journalism. You'll be doing the kind of activism that we like to do, petitions, the troublemaking part, whether it's a protest or a billboard. That's the kind of stuff you'll be doing, eh?
Absolutely. I'm excited to see what what kind of rabble we can rouse, and then we'll go from there.
It's not just rabble rousing for its own sake. There are a lot of big problems in Alberta. We talked about
Absolutely.
the anti-oil bias. The fact that you're telling me it's actually in the University of Calgary itself is deeply disturbing. There are two massive jobs in Alberta in the next election. Extirpating the Alberta NDP is job one.
Yeah.
And removing the handful of Liberals in that province. And more important than either the NDP or the Liberals is the media party, because the media party gives strength to all those others. The media party that's cowardly on the carbon tax, that's cowardly on any controversial issue, that sucks up to sucks up to Justin Trudeau. It's a Freudian slip there. I think that fighting against the media and showing how they're in league with Trudeau is actually the most important job of any journalist in Alberta. What do you think?
Absolutely, and it's not just Trudeau. It's every single left-wing politician. The media sticks to him like flies on honey. From Calgary City Council to the Alberta NDP, and even in the more left-leaning parties in surrounding jurisdictions to Alberta, that just the media just can't get enough of sucking up to them and making sure that they don't report the facts. They report what makes the left-wing parties more electable.
I think you're right. And you know what? Just hearing you talk about Calgary City Council, I think there's a couple of journalists in Calgary that sometimes hold Naheed Nenshi and the council to account, but very rarely. These days, my view is most journalists either suck up to the powerful people to get leaks as exclusives. It makes their job easier than actually working for it. Or they're just polishing their resumes for when they think they'll be laid off from the Herald or the Sun or whatever, so they want to go to work for
communications department of some politician.
Yeah, what I like about you is there's no chance in a million years you could ever get hired by Justin Trudeau or the CBC, so I know you're not going to be tailoring your work to appeal to them.
You can count on that.
Yeah, pretty sure. Well, listen, welcome aboard. Thanks for coming out here to our world headquarters to get your official badge. Actually, we got to get you a badge. We got to get you some gear and stuff. Great to see you, kid.
Thanks.
There you have it. Keean Bexte is our new Southern Alberta reporter, and he's going to be making some trouble. I think you can detect that. That's an excerpt from my daily show, the Ezra Levant Show, weekdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Every day I do a monologue, interview a guest, and read my fan mail and my hate mail. To subscribe, go to therebel.media/shows.